Every VR chat predator has its beginning. The same could be said for Miss Breezy Kawaii. But their beginnings are truly much darker than you could even begin to imagine. I began receiving multiple reports of Miss Breezy Kawaii and had quickly raised my concerns. Miss Breezy Kawaii is a VR chat furry VTuber content creator who streams actively on YouTube and makes YouTube videos. However, it is their secrets from their past that makes them arguably one of the most disturbing predators that I've ever covered on my channel. Breezy isn't just an average player of VR chat, but also an average player of Splatoon, an active member of both communities, but the problem isn't their activity in the communities, but rather their actions in both communities under the previous alias of. All it takes is a simple ID search website from Miss Breezy Kawaii's Steam profile, and it reveals the name Captain Baz is in fact related to Miss Breezy Kawaii, one of their previous usernames, has been involved in several horrific events that have affected around 8 confirmed real children victims. Also, from Amino, a website that confirms Captain Baz's other username was in fact Extreme Gamer Room, which is one of Breezy's former listed Steam usernames. Currently, Miss Breezy continues to upload videos of her cousin sleeping on her YouTube page, and also includes video of herself recording her children while they play games. It's all kind of really unsettling considering this person is actively around children at all times, and it makes me very worried for these innocent youths around someone who they don't really genuinely know. You shouldn't be recording your children or your cousins. It's genuinely really weird, especially if they don't know about it, and especially if you have a history of being weird around children or being abusive towards children. It's genuinely strange. It's highly concerning to me and raises some major red flags. Truthfully, I believe this new face is a facade to cover up your true previous identity of Captain Baz and the horrifying actions that you committed under that previous username.
My oldest son joined VR chat and I gave him my old MetaQuest 2 because I now run the MetaQuest 3.
Okay, bro, I'm on a lot of coffee right now. I've been having coffee in and out of my system. But who asked? I'm sorry, like genuinely, who asked about the MetaQuest 2 and MetaQuest 3 thing? I use an Index personally, so it's a better headset. I need to restart, dude. I'm losing track of what I'm saying. All right, redo. Actually reached a point where Miss Breezy would have their children join them on VR chat and take photos of themselves with them. I wouldn't want any children or my children on VR chat, period, to be honest with you. On top of posting photos and videos of their children IRL and in VR, they also openly post GIFs that use racist terminology, which they most certainly cannot say these words. I would know. I've seen their skin color, and I also showed it to you earlier in the video. It takes one look at Breezy to confirm that they are most certainly of white descent. I know some people don't like when I rag on predators, but honestly, just for this alone, I would leave this predator stranded in the desert, especially for their actions with children. It's deserved in my opinion. I'm sorry, I'm not taking it back. Since you are obviously indulging in the Sileskios content here, I would assume that your IQ is obviously 180. I don't mean to glaze my audience, but you all seem pretty intelligent. Intelligent enough to understand the definition of stalking. Unlike a certain somebody named Miss Breezy. Screenshot here of Breezy Kawaii posting a video by Moonjin. I think I said that right, hopefully I did anyways. A VTuber content creator who addresses controversial topics within the VTuber community. And Miss Breezy attempts to relate to this video by stating that they are also stalked by someone who has some sort of obsession over them, which I don't think is true. I don't think anyone would have an obsession over you, no offense. Unless that obsession was to put you behind jail for being a diddler, then maybe I could get it. And they try to flip the blame onto this person's friends and accuses them of being predators. They also mention the name Chris Hansen, the real deity of predator hunting. They call him a real professional and make fun of this mysterious person that they're gossiping about. Truthfully, Chris Hansen should be the one to look into you with how serious your case truly is. You have taken advantage of children time and time again, but for now, I will have to do the job of exposing you myself. Captain Baz / Breezy Kawaii, you are undoubtedly one of the most manipulative and sick and twisted individuals that I've ever heard of in my entire life. And now, I will present the evidence of your horrifying actions to the people, and they will be the judge of your actions. this first screenshot in the drive compiled by someone that formerly knew Captain Baz. And in this drive are screenshots like this one on screen here that are absolutely disgusting and repulsive. This child tells Captain Breezy their age and talks about their parents being overprotective, rightfully so, as any good parent should be. And Breezy talks about them not having to worry about it if they were them. Breezy talks about how they can have with this victim, and states that they wouldn't have to worry if they were with them. This first screenshot is disgusting, and Breezy knows it's wrong. They were openly told the victim's age right there, and they could have backed out, but they chose not to. Basically, they want to hide their actions with this child by having them live with them, and talks about doing explicit deeds with this child if they were to live with them. Breezy was 28 at the time of these events occurring, talking to someone who's not even a teenager yet. That boggles my mind. Up next, we have messages Breezy sent to a child 4 years below the legal age of consent, a second victim. We'll start with the Caillou face reveal that he sends to this victim, and I genuinely have to ask, why are you sending your face reveal to a child? I know this is the predator norm at this point, but why? But why? Why are we sending our faces to kids? Someone explain the science behind that. In this next screenshot, Breezy talks about giving the victim space, which in my opinion is most certainly some sort of form of a manipulation tactic to persuade this victim otherwise. Breezy talks about how they love this child, and the child asks Breezy why they continue to make boyfriend jokes with this child on stream. No, but seriously, Baz, why are you making boyfriend jokes with this child when you're a full-grown adult? Well,
I'm kinda your boyfriend, right, lol?
No, you're not. Seriously, this is some parasocial, disgusting creeper weirdo you see in those indie games, dude. You're a stalker. And now, for the cringeworthy predator messages segment. Make me cream, baby. I've been having thoughts and visions of me filling your up. Our first time I want to be on top of you while you look up at me and have your legs over my shoulders. Although it says me, I'm dyslexic. Bet you love that. You're my baby girl, and I get to fill your up. Mwah, mwah. Do I get to see your beautiful, cute soon, baby? I deeply love, like in love with you. Is this even grammatically correct? I don't even know. Anyways, you got my heart pounding every time I see you write me or join my streams. When I see your name, my heart pounds rapidly. Yeah, this isn't Riz or poetry. I think you need to have several restraining orders placed on you, dude, or permanently be restrained by law enforcement. Seriously, get some help, Breezy. Just so you guys know, I'm editing in the dark right now, and I pulled up this Discord light mode screenshot, and I basically got flashbangs, so I just wanted you guys to experience it too. Anyways, back to the video. I wonder what kind of weird predator message we got up next. No! Bet you love that. You're going to let me deep inside your and let me all over your melons, and when you slurp my juice, make sure you look up at me with those innocent, beautiful eyes of yours. Now, these are only a few horrifying messages that Captain Breezy, or Miss Breezy, has sent to this child, and it is beyond the definition of illegal. But did you know that Captain Baz, or Breezy, has also sent a total of 20 explicit photos to this child, on top of all of those previous disgusting, dirty messages? They are all real, these photos are all real, and everything you are seeing is genuinely horrifying, and I hope that this victim can get some solace out of this video. Yep, as I stated before, 20 explicit screenshots. This guy is a jackrabbit when it comes to producing explicit photos of himself and sending it to children. Seriously, this is the most amount of explicit photos that I've ever seen in a case, and I've seen a lot of them, like 400 or so. How do you even begin to deny this proof? How are you still on the streets virtually? And on the streets IRL? Surely this is proof of the virtual injustice that we face. Also, this victim confirms their age again in front of Breezy and for everybody else, and they express that they weren't interested in Breezy whatsoever. And they even had a partner at the time, yet Breezy / Captain Baz still says they wouldn't mind and states that this victim wouldn't say anything about this to their partner or to anyone else. You, Breezy, aka Captain Baz, attempted to silence this innocent individual and talked about wanting to take their innocence. You even confirmed that you're a real man and stated that this child shouldn't settle for a boy. This victim isn't your girl. They're not in love with you. They never were, and you were going to groom them. You're not a man. You're not a woman. You're a monster. 5 years ago, these messages occurred, and you were able to hide yourself away in silence. But no longer do you have that opportunity of freedom, as you have hurt too many children permanently and belong on an official registry with a list of offenders.
I saw his little Dropbox he made. I saw the Dropbox, and of course, you know, I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious because I saw the whole thing. I looked at it, and I even retweeted it myself because I just wanted to see about it. You know what I mean? I wanted to see about it. Of course, you know, now he's got it to where I can't see it because he's a little bitch like that. So, anyways, he made this Dropbox about me, I guess, and it's got a bunch of this rigged up fake bullshit from over the years, from 2019 and everything like that. Bunch of rigged up messages that were photoshopped and used up and everything like that. Plus using my I think you guys already know about that. That they literally conned my ex-girlfriend to get my back in 2019. And they basically were doing whatever they want with it. And I know this is a lot of information for you guys, so you guys can take it as you want. You know, I mean, I'm not upset about it, but I'm telling you guys the truth about this. But he wants to go around and claim that I'm this so-called monster pet. But it's funny how these people are getting brainwashed thinking that I'm this so-called I'm this groomer. It was like, she was 18 years old, okay? Who gives a shit? Alright? I'm sorry, but like, here's the thing, guys. If you really think that I am a because I dated younger women, okay.
Here's the thing though, Breezy, you only brought up one instance out of several that you have gotten with a victim that has been under the legal age of consent. You brought up one instance where you were with a freshly turned 18-year-old, and there are several others way below that is unacceptable. This doesn't just magically excuse all of the other victims that you have, just so you know. In fact, here's another victim right now. I'll show you another one. A third victim who is 3 years below the legal age of consent. Breezy sent an I love you message to them, and Breezy sent explicit Splatoon art to this victim. Breezy, you claimed you loved this person, you claimed you loved this child, and that this child was your wife, yet still, you're a delusional individual who preys on innocent kids and can't seem to wake up to reality that you need to be slapped with prison time, because clearly you are stuck in a repetitive cycle that will never end, and what you are truly doing is destroying the mental health of several children. You are affecting them, you are hurting them, you are damaging their futures and jeopardizing their safety and health, just because you're a monstrous individual. You know what? Let's not stop there. There's a fourth underage victim where we can see Breezy goes ahead and sends a gif of two anime characters slobbering in each other's mouths, and he repeats the same cycle of,
"Oh, you're the best thing that has ever walked into my life."
creepy vibes, which just seems to be a repeated common phrase amongst predators now. This is just a sign to be on the lookout for if you're ever facing an older creeper individual in your DMs.
Do you really want me to stop? I will if you really want me to. I'm just letting out my feelings to you.
What? Yes, Breezy, we want you to stop being a predator. You should let your feelings for these children go. You've demonstrated time and time again that you can't and won't change. You are stuck in this repetitive cycle of taking advantage of children. You were the captain of this ship, Breezy, but now you've gone and sunk everything you have built. Someone had asked me a question not too long ago about the signs of predators and grooming, and to answer that question, we could actually use Breezy as a perfect example. They target those who lack self-esteem or seem weak, and typically predators will use their age as a sense of superiority over their victims. They will use that confidence to gain the trust of these victims. Predators always attempt to fulfill a need of a victim. Because they aren't satiated with just controlling you physically, they have to be able to control you mentally. For example, with the victims prior, Captain Baz or Breezy attempts to replace a boyfriend, or rather like a trusted figure, a relationship, whoever it is. Whoever is in that relationship, they always want to be or replace that trusted person in the victim's life. They have to be that only trusted person in the victim's life. This is essentially called isolating a victim. To simplify this further for you, let me go ahead and use this message below. Using the message from the fifth victim here, we can identify the process of predatory behavior and grooming. The relationship in this instance is with a child below the legal age of consent. They use this power dynamic of their age to essentially control the victim. And for the past 5 years, Breezy has been nearly double the age of all of the victims.
I remember when we first met, and throughout that time you have helped me so much. I'm deeply, madly in love with you.
This statement from Breezy is intended to persuade this victim individual into emotionally responding, thus giving Breezy control over the conversation, and to get the victim to trust them further. The idea behind a fulfilling a need concept is the idea that the predator, or Breezy, needs to replace something or someone, like a boyfriend in several cases for Breezy, something that holds value to a victim so that they can be the only thing left around, the only person left to control this victim emotionally, mentally, and physically. Whatever it may be, the predator has to have control over those things. No one will love you as much as I because I'm writing this to you with no holding back. This is the concept of isolation. The idea that no one can match Breezy or match this predator is essentially intended to isolate the victim. And again, they tug at the heartstrings of this victim, talking about not holding back and how they miss the victim's voice so badly. This is a form of manipulation and predation. Captain Baz, or Captain Breezy, or Miss Breezy, wants to fulfill a need or lend an ear, essentially to meet a need that the victim has, essentially fulfilling that need, and thus isolating the victim. But at the end of this repeating cycle, it is simply abuse. The end goal for predators is abuse. It isn't love. It's a game of manipulation for these monsters. And why do they do these things? I genuinely wish I knew. But for the most part, it could be power, control, explicit favors. Whatever it is, you have something that these predators don't have. You have something that they want. Stability, love, control. And predators seek to take these traits from you and the others around you. But don't let them. Continue to stay strong, and I hope you'll be able to identify the tactics of predators using the examples that I provided with Miss Breezy. At the end of all of this, I reached out to Miss Breezy Kawaii myself for a word about their actions and waited patiently for a chance to hear what they had to say. Unfortunately, they did not give me that chance, but it makes sense considering how horrible their actions truly are. The people making videos to expose you, Breezy, they aren't the bad guys, and they won't be sued. The videos aren't grounds for suing, as nothing is defamation. It is all based off of factual evidence gathered from your years of dwelling in the darkness on the internet and Vrchat. Hear the excuse of others falsely accusing me of things I never did all the time when it comes to predators online. It's the same old freaking excuse, and I'm so tired of it. I just want to ray gun myself or anyone who says it. You weren't rigged up by kids online. Kids aren't capable of rigging you up online. No one can make you do something you don't want to do, especially not children. You are responsible as the adult here. This isn't drama though, Breezy. It's about the 8 kids you've affected, it's about the 8 lives that you've possibly ruined, and it's about you and your horrible actions as an adult who has consistently gotten away with horrifying actions of predatory behavior on the internet for 7 years. Transitioning doesn't excuse your horrible behaviors, and lying doesn't make it vanish. Crying about me reaching out to you on Twitter doesn't solve anything. Live streaming and complaining about me won't solve you being a predator, and in fact makes you look even more depressing because you're an adult streaming talking about a 22-year-old who is 10 times more aware than you are of what it means to accept responsibility and truly be adult-like. Finally, Breezy, nobody has tainted your name other than yourself. Nobody has falsely accused you. Everything about you has been true. You've destroyed your life yourself. You put your future and your family in jeopardy because you simply couldn't keep your dirty, disgusting hands to yourself when it came to children online and virtually. The drive on Miss Breezy is truly massive, and the amount of time and effort that has gone into it is incredible. Maxwell has been a hero by compiling the voices of these victims for many years, and for others who have been haunted by Captain Baz or Breezy for many years. At the end of the day, Breezy will continue to deny their previous actions and state that it's old news or it's all in the past, but once it reaches a point where it's happened 8 times, when does it simply become just old news? It will never be old news. Well, everyone, this has been the Miss Breezy Kawaii Exposed video. I hope you have gained an understanding of how these monstrous predators truly work, and I hope that Breezy faces the consequences of this exposed video. I hope this video has given a voice to the victims, and I've done right by you, and I thank you all for being here, seriously. I'll see you all in the following video. Remember to stay safe, everyone. Remember to report predators in our Discord server into the hotline. And just like I did in this report here on Breezy, using their exact location and real name. Remember to fill out this hotline report. Even if you don't have the necessary information, reach out and get the help you need. Until then, bye-bye everyone, and take care of yourselves.